Well, good morning. It's another cold and wet day here. Oh, what's that you said? Do you live in Melbourne? Yes, I do. So I'm getting ready to depart. It's nearly 6 o'clock in the morning, and today I'm heading over to South Australia. Where I'm going, I'll let you know in a little while. Right now, I've got to get out of the rain, and that means finish hooking up the side piece to the car, and I'm heading off. I'll speak again soon. Morning again. Right, just fueled up. Took about 90 litres, so half a tank. And I've got, GPS is telling me about 950 kilometres to get to where I'm going. Obviously I won't be doing that today, but I'll get as far as I feel comfortable and then pull over for the night. Weather in Melbourne is 9 degrees and raining. See what it's like in South Australia. Probably won't be much difference. Anyway, I'll catch up with you a bit later on the journey. Okay, just stopped at Best Western. Picked up some groceries that I forgot to bring from home. Still raining a little bit and still 9 degrees. So just the drive, I suppose. Nothing much special about it. I'll stop over at the next rest stop and have some breakfast. Good morning. Last night it was raining and dark when I stopped, and then this morning it was rainy and dark when I left. So I didn't take any video. It was a quiet spot, nice and level, and I got plenty of good sleep. Anyway, on to the campsite. So GPS is telling me that I'm just under an hour away from my campsite. I'm going to be going to a farm stay in the Northern Flinders Rangers. And the weather forecast for the week is cloudy and overcast most days, but not rain. So it's going to be interesting to see how my solar handles the overcast conditions. From my previous experience, I don't think it's going to do too good at all, but I could be surprised. Anyway, I'll be using the 240 as I would normally, and then that will give me the opportunity to test it in overcast days. I'll probably stay the extra night, so that'll be four days of overcast weather. Anyway, as soon as I've gotten into it, set up, and we'll let you know how everything's going. Taken a few shots from this lookout, but never with the clouds. Makes it look even more special. Survivor lookout. Onto the dirt. We'll see how it all handles. I haven't reduced the tyre pressures yet, and just turned off the highway in towards Lindman and the Parachilna Gorge. So won't be going there today. Just see how things pan out. I had no idea that when I booked this place I'd have to drive through all of this just to get here. Even the sky's starting to clear up. Well, if I could end up with some sun like this while I'm in here, it'll certainly help with the power situation. We'll just have to see. I'm hoping that this is a break now with all the bad weather, and I'm going to have some nice weather while I'm here. It's currently up to 18, so that's much better than where I come from. Well, this is going to be home for the next 3 nights at least, maybe 4. Didn't stop at the homestead, I just drove past it. It's basically unmanned for the caretaker, and all of the booking is done over the web. So I just continued on. I had a mud map, and I hoped that that would get me to where I had to go. So this is the gate on the hand-drawn map. Once I go through here, I should be the 3rd road on the right. Okay, so that's the 2nd road, Knob Hill Lookout. I will be heading up there for a lookout. Because I'm camped here, I can go there. So now I'm just looking for the next road on my right. And this bush is going to get the side, just getting the side of my van. Getting tighter and tighter. So according to the drawn map, there's not much difference between the distance of where the tracks are, so hopefully I can get this could be interesting if it floods. So at this point I'm starting to wonder if I've missed the turn-off. Anyway, there is a Y intersection further along the track. If I get to there, I know I've missed it. It's certainly given the caravan a good workout, and pretty impressed at the moment. Not used to being used, I guess. Anyway, fingers crossed I haven't missed the turn-off, and I'll keep going. In this next section, I had a lot of difficulty getting the van around past this tree on the left. It was quite a tight turn with the van on, and it took me a lot of toing and froing to get the right angle to get it around. Eventually I did, and this was the hardest part of the track, where I could get the van through. There were a number of sections on the track that were quite tight, and I often had to slow down to try and do as little damage to the sides of the van as I could. There were also a number of sections where the limbs were low, and I had to take small detours to get around the limbs to make sure that they didn't hit the top of the van. I had driven a long way and still hadn't found the turn, so I pulled over to the side, unhitched the van and drove back, still not being able to find the turn. I returned past the van and about 200 metres past where I'd unhitched. On the other side of the tree that I didn't want to drive past was the turn off. After walking around and looking for alternatives, I hitched back up to the van, and the story continues. So this is my problem. That tree's on an angle and the track's on an opposite angle, and then there's a rock on the left hand side on the ground, which when you go over that rock it will tilt the van into the tree, and I really don't want to even give it a go given that I'm by myself. So I was going to drive up the creek, but I've been for a walk and it looks like I can just drive through the side of the creek, on the side of the creek, up out of the creek, and there's one sketchy bit and I'll be able to get around this tree. The sketchy bit is just some old tree that's in the ground, small one, and when I go over it it's going to crackle it and that. I just hope I don't do any damage to the tyres. I don't think I will, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it back to where it was and then drive up alongside the track and see how I go. Whoop, getting past. Okay, so I'm going to drive slowly up through here and go around that tree and come back onto the track, I hope. It's all pretty good through here. It's when I get to the sketchy bit with the dead tree on the ground it's got me worried. Anyway, tyres are easy to replace as opposed to a big dint in the side of the van. free, that noise. I think it'll be alright, only thin and comes out. Thin and old. So I think, looks like I'm through. Trailer is now over and we're back in business. Okay, now we've just got the creek crossing. Let's do the creek crossing, which I might add is a bit steep on the entry on this side. I've been looking at the back of the van as we go. Oh, that's just hit something. So that one is steep. And then you start to come up on this side before the van goes down on the other side. So something's hit, I don't know what it is. The back was okay. Back seems okay. Oof. Getting pulled across the side there. Okay, give the sides of the van a bit of a brush down through here. I've got firewood there. I'm just going to park it up. Just before the light fades, I'm finally into the camp. There's firewood there for me, which is great. And you can see that riverbank on the other side there. Just there. That's where I was. And over here is the road. And I thought I'd gone too far. So I unhitched across there. And it was just here. Anyway, I'm in. And I'm in. I'm going to stay another 2 nights if I can. The quietness here is deafening. It is amazing. And a beautiful area. Lots of things to show you over the next couple of days. I'm going to do lookouts and tracks and all sorts of things. So keep tuned and I'll do some more tomorrow. After a peaceful day at the camp, doing basically nothing, I headed towards Sunset Boulevard to sit up on top of the hill to watch the sun go down. Camp up here, I guess, for the sunset. Got some cheese and pickies and just going to sit and watch the sun go down. Have a look at that for a view. And fantastic. I came up to Sunset Boulevard, it's called, to watch the sunset, and the views looking out over the mountains, which you've already seen, were spectacular. The sunset was just so I think, but it was still good to be just sitting here watching it going down. While I was here, a couple came up that were looking for one of the other campsites, and I couldn't remember the name, but luckily the mud map that I had the campsite on it, so I was able to help them. Anyway, I suppose you want to have a look at the sunset. It's nearly over, but I'll give you a few seconds of it. Any sunset you're watching is a good sunset. Just some sunsets are a little bit better than others. I'm going to leave you now and just enjoy the rest and then head back to camp.